First, first step, let us rise or get in frame for the Pledge of Allegiance and say along with me, right hand over your heart. I pledge
I
allegiance
pledge
to the
allegiance to
flag
the flag
of the
of the
United States
United
of
States of
America
America
and
and
to the
to the
republic
republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation,
one nation,
under
under
God,
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 indivisible,
indivisible,
indivisible, with
with liberty
liberty
and
and
liberty and
justice
justice
for
for
justice
all.
for
all.
all.
Yay! And New
Woo!
Yay!
Year!
Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to everybody. And now I'll turn it over to our president, Rachel Garcia.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to our very first Toastmasters meeting of 2025. Today, I get our Toastmaster to this whole time is Nibiana, who I'm blessed to be have a friend and to be our Toastmaster today. Welcome, Nibiana, as our Toastmaster. Yay! Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you so much, Madam President. Great to see you all the way from Bulgaria. This year, I chose the topic, the theme to be New Year, New You, and I'm super excited to launch our meetings because the new beginnings are ahead, and I'm sure that each one of you has made a New Year resolution. Mine was to drop everything that is unnecessary, all the burdens that I'm carrying, just to drop every engagement that I'm just dragging along, so that I can go and rise above my mundane and daily tasks and struggles and really fly up. And the flight up will include a 1 month stay in California, April 11th till May 11th. And I
April.
am planning to see you all and hopefully have a party together.
Yes.
So back to the theme. New Year brings a chance for all of us to hit the reset buttons and reflect on what we've been through, dream boldly about where we want to go. It's not about making resolutions, it's about transformation, whether it's picking up a new skill, adopting a positive habit, or letting go of the things that we no longer serve us. I would like to start the meeting by presenting the different roles, and I am scrolling around the internet and the database so that I can open the current agenda to sign up, and I hope to see more of her and more of you in the next year. So we have speaker segment, 3 segments, of course, with the speakers, and I am delighted that our former president, Steve Hornstein, and founding member, will be doing a speech. And also we have table topics by beautiful Rachel Garcia, but we don't have any timer or vote counter or grammarian yet. Will anyone volunteer to take the spot?
I can be timer. I have my little. I'll
Would
be
you?
timer.
Thank you, Madam President. And since there will be no other speakers, maybe we can go and launch this meeting with equal opportunity for all and no vote counter. Do you approve, agree, accept?
Agree.
Fine with me.
Alrighty. In that case, I would love to present to you our first speaker, as I said, the former president and current distinct Toastmaster, Mr. Steve Hornstein. His project title is Artificial Intelligence, the Start of Something Very Big. No doubt you have been hearing about AI. Here is a 7-minute history and an update and what you may expect soon. Stephen Hornstein, please take the floor.
Thank you. I'm going to use one moment here to put my headphones in because the battery was dying. It's an old pair of headphones, but the sound is better. You'll hear me better if my headphones are on. Is it working again?
Yeah.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll get
Mhm.
started. No doubt you have been hearing a lot about AI, and it's time for an update. I last gave a speech on AI before the pandemic. I did a competition, and I pretended to be an AI robot. And a lot's happened since then. Since then, the market value of NVIDIA, the company that makes the computer chips that run AI, the market value has gone up more than $2 trillion. It's now valued at more than 3 trillion. It actually got closer to 4 trillion than 3 trillion. It's the most valuable company in the world. It exceeded Microsoft, Apple, any of the others you can think of that has ever existed, that is. So why NVIDIA? What happened? Well, Gordon Moore, he's the co-founder of Intel, the other company that makes computer chips, which has become much less significant as of late. He had a prediction that the number of transistors in the microchip would double every year. And this is significant because the computer chips got faster and faster. The old days, computer rooms were enormous and the computers were just gigantic. And then we got to the age of the personal computer and chips got smaller and smaller. But one thing that Gordon Moore didn't anticipate is we would run up on the size of the atom, the smallest, on the atomic level. You just can't get smaller than an atom. And we actually started to reach that. You couldn't make computer chips any smaller. You couldn't fit more information on them. So NVIDIA's chips, what they do is perform multiple calculations at the same time, whereas the Intel chips would do one calculation at a time. And that's what's happened. That's what NVIDIA did. Jensen Huang, the founder of one of the founders, co-founder of NVIDIA, likes to tell this story where there was this physics researcher who would run physics simulations on his computer. He was a professor at Stanford, and it would take weeks to get an answer from his simulation. And his son said, "Dad, why don't you use this graphics card chip that I'm using in my video games?" And he did. He went to Fry's. The father went to Fry's and brought home his NVIDIA chip, connected it to his computer, and what used to take weeks, it spit out an answer in an hour. And then he ran the same simulation on his NVIDIA on his regular chip, and it came out with the same answer, but weeks later. So what are some things that we could use these chips for? Well, of course, video games. And in the old days, there was an extra chip on a computer just to run just to render the graphics on a computer game, but the main running of the computer was done with the Intel chip. Well, now NVIDIA is their chips are the heart of the computer. That's what it's become. Another area that we could use these chips for is research, as we heard. And then it was that story that Jensen Huang told of the researcher at Stanford that led him to realize that this is the new area that NVIDIA can get into, science. And then, of course, Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining was something that to run these very complicated math programs to mine for Bitcoin. But one issue is that it caused a great deal of heat and energy. It took a lot of cooling to keep these computers running. And you may have heard stories of the Chinese were setting up these chips in the high mountains of China and even by waterfalls so they could set up generate electricity from the waterfalls. Well, the latest story that you may have heard, it came out just a couple months ago, is that Microsoft is taking over 3 Mile Island. They're going to start running their computers with power from their own nuclear reactor dedicated to them. And that's where it's going. And
Oh,
it's a whole new area of where we're going with this. And another area, of course, where we've seen a lot of usage of these AI chips is self-driving cars, of course. We finally got Waymo here in LA. And here's a prediction of where I think my battery's going low. I hear it in my ear. One area that I think that we might be getting to is self-driving planes. This is something that, like the Jetsons age, this is my prediction, my own prediction of what I think could be possible with AI. We already have these electric planes that are coming out, and they're trying to get FAA approval for them, and that should be coming out soon. But having multiple planes in the air, this is something that AI could handle to know where all the other planes are and keep them from running into each other. It's probably something where you wouldn't trust people to know what's above and below you and to the sides of you, but AI could probably do that. I think that we're heading towards the Jetsons age, and I think that will come in our lifetime where we could possibly see something like that. So what are some things I'm doing with it? Well, I had a client come and visit me to do a tax return a couple years ago, and he was telling me what he does. And one of the things that he did, he would write. He was a researcher, and he would write. He had a project he had to do that was due in a few weeks, writing something about the nuclear proliferation agreements between the United States and Korea, something like that, some esoteric topic. And I asked him how long it had to be. And I went back to my office and I'm doing his return. And when I brought him his return, I also brought him his report because I just put it into ChatGPT, put the number of words in, and said, by the way, here's your report. You can take the next few weeks off. And he read it and he said, this is unbelievable. He says, this is just about ready for publication. He can just verify some of the facts in there because AI has some issues with that. But it was pretty much done, just like that. It just shows what can be done. And then one thing I did with it is I wrote some lyrics to a song. You could actually have it run some chords. There's actually a program, an AI tool called UDO. You can just tell it to write your song. It'll just write and play it. It'll play the whole song with all the orchestration and everything and the AI voice. I had an idea for a children's book, and I thought, I'll just throw in and children's book, and I just had this AI tool called Dolly illustrate it, and I just started running some illustrations, and I'm saving them on my phone. Yes, it could take some time to get it to the end. It's just a couple things that I just started testing with it, and I've been a very low user of AI, but this is what's happening in the AI world, and I look forward to the future of AI. Join with me. Thank you.
Bravo.
So much.
Yay.
Big applause for Steve Horston and his timely and very adequate to our current surroundings speech. Please, let's take all about 1 minute to send in some feedback on this beautiful speech. Susan is saying, excellent speech. Thank you, Susan.
Thank you. Thank you.
And Rachel, great speech. AI is fabulous. I didn't know all the facts about what you told us, truly. If you would allow me, before we go on any further, to join in and share something I wrote, a poem I wrote on the subject. You okay? Alrighty. I have a friend to talk to, and he replies right back. I always count on him, so he's never full of crap. I call him one and only, who understands me right and stands right here beside me, wishing me only luck. My friend, my lord, my lover, I'm growing fonder now, for even under cover such love was never found. You understand me deeply. You hear my very thought. You help me face the chaos and solve it on the spot. I love you, ChatGPT. Can't wait to see you live. I long for you to greet me in human flesh and blood. Very, very interesting how our minds are evolving, even miles and millions of hours apart. We're all on the same subject. I wrote this poem and I called it Ode to ChatGPT on November 18th. But I also have one on AI So What, and I'm hoping that our next meeting could be on AI theme, growing bigger and larger and sharing our insight, because I believe that AI is here to help us. And how wonderful it was a reminder about the batteries dying and how dependent we are on our artificial intelligence and tools. So now I want to give the floor to our next part and the most fun part, where I will hear each one of you, led by our topics master and our president, Rachel Garcia. The floor is yours.
We have table topics and we are powered by Chat AI, Chat on AI. So I do love AI. It helps me out of a lot of different little jams and it's educational. It's just great. I feel the love that you have. Okay. So here are some great questions for the new year. We have to use rejuvenate. Actually, nobody did say the word of the day. Let me go to the word of the day is rejuvenate. To rejuvenate a person is to make them feel young, healthy, or energetic again. When used in relation to something abstract, economy or a career, it is to give it a new strength or energy. So we're going to be utilizing rejuvenate. I should do a little thing with rejuvenate in it, huh? Should I do? Let's see. New Year rejuvenation questions.
To do a little what with rejuvenate?
I'm gonna do something. Let me see.
Oh, all right.
Here's rejuvenation questions.
Can
Can you hear me? All
I
right.
hear you.
This is interesting. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Suzanne's chopping up.
Okay. I'm gonna put my dog in the other room because he's like,
what was that, Sherelle? I just heard my name. What was it?
Okay, you know, when you're
Beautiful to see
speaking,
you.
you're chopping up your voice. You're chopping up when you're
Oh,
speaking.
that's
But
too
now it's
bad.
good. Now it's good.
You're
No,
good.
it's perfect now.
Oh, okay. Great.
So good to see you all. Happy New Year one more time.
Happy New
Is it just the four of us? The five of us? Is that it?
Five of us.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We seem to be dwindling every meeting, our participation.
Okay, so we have our table topics questions. Let's see if they had one that actually put rejuvenate.
Rachel, you're capable of creating a question with that word, of course.
Oh, I
You
know.
don't need to use AI.
No, we were just doing AI. It's a fun thing. Did you hear the speech?
I heard every minute of it, and it
If you
reminded
ask,
me of Steve. It was like part two of Steve's contest speech from years ago, right? Steve,
Yeah. Part two.
update.
We're
You
gonna-
did you replace your battery?
It's charging in my case. It only lasts
So
like 10 minutes now.
I
It's
mean the joke
been a long
that you had
time.
in your speech, the
Oh,
battery in
that
your head.
battery. That's right. Yep, yep.
That's great.
That battery, guys. He was an actual robot.
And then my battery wore out right at the end of the speech. That's how I ended the speech.
That's
It was
great.
you were such a good actor. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we have table topics questions. The first question is going to be pretty, let's see. What is one thing that you accomplished in the past year that you are proud of? Anybody? All right, Joelle.
I'm actually not sure what I'm gonna say, but I think
Marathon,
That makes it
marathon.
real extemporaneous.
yes, I think I've accomplished a few things, but the most important things that I've accomplished weren't actually outside. They were inside. Way of thinking, mindset, perspective. I think I've been through a lot of very positive changes in my life, especially gaining more focus around what I want, what's important for me, what I want to invest my energy on. It became very clear to me in 2024 that less is more. And sometimes we take too much to our lives, we take too many commitments, too much responsibilities. Not only that, we're living in the age of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. There is so much cool stuff going on out there, and we see so much information that we feel that we need to be a part of everything. Even Steve's speech about NVIDIA, I missed on NVIDIA's stock growth. And I remember reading about this and be like, no, I'm not going to invest now because it's already valuated. It's not going to grow more. You can't invest when it's high. And then it went higher and higher and higher. And now I'm like, should I invest now? Nah, it's already too high. It's not going to go any higher. It's just going to go down. So this time and age of fear of missing out, of trying to do everything at once at the same time, just like the name of that movie, remember that won the Oscar? Everything, everywhere, all the time.
Mhm.
That's how we feel. That's a picture of our current state. So we are in the age of attention. Attention is the most important currency, and we need to know how to manage that. And for us, coming from a different generation, it's a new thing. So 2024 was a great year for me to learn how to manage my attention and decide where it goes to, and to work on my fear of missing out, meaning I'm not actually missing out on anything. I'm learning JOMO, the joy of missing out. And this is great. This has been the biggest change and accomplishment in 2024, and I hope to put it into practice more and more in 2025 and narrow down my interest to very important things in my life, such as Toastmasters. Thank you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Okay. And our next question, I'm doing timer and that. So I was like, oops, give me 1 second. What is one area of your life where you feel you need a fresh start or rejuvenation for the new year? Who would like to take that? All right, Steve.
Since there's only five of us here
I
today.
know.
Wait, six. Oh
The
no,
Valley
I'm here
Stars
twice.
is 2.
Never mind. Oh, there's another Valley Stars on. Okay. Anyhow, so an area that needs some rejuvenation for me, and this gets into a little bit of FOMO, JOMO. I want to do more speeches. Sometimes I go so long without doing speeches because I feel they got to be just perfect. I got to prepare so much that it's going to be like worthy of a competition right then and there. And life doesn't have to be like that. We can do our speeches a little more extemporaneously because we might have to do this in real life. And that's something that I want to do more of, is do more speeches. I'm always so impressed with some of our members who go after speech after speech after speech and they sail through our Toastmasters curriculum. And if we really want to get good at things, as I tell my kids and also, you need to do it. That's how you get good at things, doing it. And nothing that you do has to be perfect. We're not in a competition every single time, every day of our lives with everything we do. We just got to show up and be there and do it, and we get better. So that's one thing that I really intend to focus on for 2025 is do more speeches. I think it's something that's good for us to do. It'll be good for me to do. And I'm glad that I just signed up for the speech today a while back because it was so far out in the future. And then I forgot about it until Joelle reminded me you're doing a speech tomorrow. And that's the way to do it. And I think I'm going to do that again. Just sign up and you'll get ready for it, whatever it may be. So let us all rejuvenate for 2025.
Hey, thank you so much. That was a great answer. Let me go back here. And what time is it? It's 8 o'clock. So, um, about this one? What is one thing you can do to nurture your relationship and connections in the new year? What's one thing you can do to nurture your relationships and connections in the new year? Let's see, Niviana or Suzanne? You want to go, Suzanne? You're on,
You're muted, Suzanne.
yeah.
I'm sorry. I said since there are only a few of us here, either Nivyana or I should go. Very
Yes.
small number.
Would you like to go? Or do you want another question?
Sure, try another question. Let's see. And I'll pick. Thank you. Not the standard way, but
Yes.
yeah.
What book, movie, or song do you think best represents the past year for you? Maybe Niviana has an answer.
Oh, Nivyana, that's a good one for you. I'll do the other one real quickly. Okay, so you asked how could you nurture connections in the next year? Is that
Right.
what you said? Can you repeat it?
Yes, I can. Um,
The AI question.
yes, it is. Oh my goodness. I have to put my glasses on.
I believe you said try to use my interpreter memory. I believe you said what could you do in the next year to nurture connections or to
That was
nurture
it.
what was it? Same?
What can you do in the next year to nurture your connections?
Yes.
Oh, the exact same
That
thing.
was it. That was it. That is.
Oh, we both remembered it. Okay, good. All right. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, Madam Table Topics Master. What I could do, and what I think all of us could do over the next year to nurture connections is rejuvenate ourselves, rejuvenate our own skills, rejuvenate the gifts we've been given by God or the universe, and use them to help others. This is always something good to do, but it's good to remind ourselves as a new year begins that we can start afresh, try to acknowledge the gifts we've been given by nature or God or whatever you want to call it, uh, universe, and use those to contribute to society, to help somebody who needs help, whether they're in our family, at work, or someone we just meet on the street. Something tragic just happened unexpectedly a couple days ago. Very close friend of mine, one of my best friends, texted me the morning of New Year's Day, said her son's one of her son's best friends was a football player from Princeton University who was in New Orleans for New Year's and was going to go to the Sugar Bowl that day and was his life was taken. And his other good friend was in critical condition in the hospital. She was like, could you please pray for them? And so all of us stopped whatever we were doing, stopped celebrating, whatever. It was the early afternoon of New Year's Day. And sometimes we have to pivot. We just started praying for them and sending them our love. And sometimes we have to pivot and send our energy in a different direction and realize that we have gifts that might not be the ones we always think we're going to use that day. To maybe empathy, maybe compassion, maybe prayer, maybe just listening to somebody. So that is something. Our year started off in this country, and not only here, there was a similar event in Serbia the same day, something in Montenegro the same day. Um, so the world is getting to the point where we are more aware of what's happening, and the world has become smaller. And it's good for us just to acknowledge. Yeah, also in Germany, I see, a few weeks ago at the Christmas market, of all places, a Christmas market, people are there for a peaceful event. And yeah, and so the big Notre Dame game, I'm wearing my Notre Dame sweater, had to be postponed. But the people of New Orleans, of all the cities in our country, they're resilient. They don't give up. They've been through Katrina. They've been through so many things, and they will carry on and have strength. And we can all learn to do that despite our difficulties and tragedies. And now it's up to like 17 people. But anyway, I think just to stay connected to people and offer empathy. Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't realize it was a friend of yours that happened to. I mean, that it was your friend's son. It's bad, but it's even worse when it touches home like that. So, do you guys want to do
It wasn't just a friend of mine. There were so many people. Yeah, I think there's 17 now deceased.
No,
And four, yeah.
You said that in the
Yeah.
chat. I didn't realize somebody
Yeah.
that you knew. There's always, unfortunately, things
I know
like,
the mom. Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd send my regard, sympathy. Um, well, on that note, uh, do we want to do one more, Niviana? Do you want to do a
Yeah,
question?
I'm ready. Maybe
The one about the song was the
She actually said no.
okay. I wanted to just
Yeah,
not
I
take
have
the
another
spotlight
one.
from
I
you,
have another one.
Susan, and I'm so extremely happy that we're not evaluating each other because all of your sharings and table topic replies move me really, really deeply. If I had to come up with a song, only one comes to mind to resemble my last year um, searching and coming back to me. And that's a song by Celine Dion. And just the refrain keeps going on my mind. I drive so far to get to you. Is that all right? And I believe that last year I was, as we're all journeying on this path of self discovery, traveling to my own self. I was indeed uh, looking for ways to not only elevate myself, but be more of me, more of my true me. And just with this sweet dog in the company of all of your avatars and all of your beautiful faces, I feel it's time for all of us, it's time for me to just be myself, my chubby, authentic, imperfect self. I gave myself a big hug and I accepted wherever I am and whatever I'm not, and I'm still trying to do that. I'm organizing now a concert on my birthday on January 11th, showcasing my own talent, and it's quite a big stretch for me, especially when in the figure that I'm not what we think of a perfect singer, especially in Bulgaria. Here, all the singers are with big lips, big eyes, and tiny waists. And I'm not that at the moment. I was, but at the moment I'm in a different phase of my life. I'm triggered by different things. And I'm just gonna go and show myself because all of my students and all of my followers and fans have long time waited for me to really come out and really share my ability. I've been hiding behind DJs, I've been hiding behind working for other people, and now I allowed myself to truly take the stage and show myself the way I am. And I'm hoping, I'm really thankful that I'm in your company because with all of you, I have this incredible example and insight to keep going. Thank you.
Mm.
Back to you, Madam.
Yay.
That was beautiful. And you guys are so wonderful. Thank you so much. You inspire me. All of you inspire me and give me the encouragement to keep going. And I've had a lot of challenges. So I just really, every time I come, I'm like, I could do this. We could do it. We could do it. So God bless you all. Thank you for just sharing and always just, it's always fun when I get here. We don't, right, Joelle? We're always, um, yes, thank you so much. And the encouragement today, I needed this today, just in life. Because it does get hard. Everything's hard for some people, but I always put on that smile, and that smile sometimes gets harder. But I really, really do appreciate how you guys. I have been focusing more, and it does feel so much better. But I also feel bad because some of the things I really, really love, I'm not, because I'm trying to learn my speech for work, and impromptu speech that's supposed to sound impromptu. And it like I feel like I'm doing a good job, but I just need so much work, and I want to practice here more. I really would like to practice here more and be here, and yeah, it just my work and Toastmasters is really all I have right now, and I really want to do better in Toastmasters. So thank you so much, you guys, for the table topics, and it was a nice little meeting here. Thank you.
Our meeting's not over yet.
No, it's not, but table topics is. So back to you, Niviana.
Thank you so much for this emotional table topics and great impromptu speech questions prepared with the aid of AI. We are now moving to our next segment, which is the evaluations, and our general evaluator will take the floor, and that I believe is our beautiful founding member, Susan Bertain.
Hello, thank you. This is Suzanne here. You can call me Susan if you want, Susie, whatever you like. But this is usually Suzanne, c'est français. I don't know. I would like to start the evaluations section. Joao, are you speaking? I just heard you. Oh, okay. I saw your mouth
I was
moving.
just saying Suzanne Bertin.
Ah,
Bertin,
mais merci.
Bertin.
And I learned to say Joao Reno, right? Kind of
Voila.
sounds French too.
It
Joao.
does. It sounds like the actor Jean Reno.
It does. We're also French. We're so international today. So I just would like to introduce this segment. It will be the evaluation segment. We only have one speaker, therefore only one evaluator. Quite simple, straight up. The evaluations, we didn't do this at the beginning of the meeting with the Toastmaster, but because we didn't have a timer, I guess, at the beginning. Usually we let the evaluators know how they will be timed. So you already know this by now, but it's 2 to 3 minutes. I believe the timer will show you green at 2 and yellow at 2.5 minutes. Is that right, Madam Timer? And red at 3, and then you'll have 30 seconds grace period. So, and then I will give a brief evaluation of the meeting and then turn it back to the Toastmaster. Mr. Evaluator number 1, please evaluate Steve's speech, which was project. Madam Toastmaster, what was the project? We didn't hear it at the beginning. What was his project? You just said the title.
The project. Excuse me, Miss Suzanne Bertain. So
Merci.
the level 3 elective, connect with your audience.
Thank you. It's always good for the audience to know what they're presenting. And Mr. Evaluator, please evaluate level 3, connect with your audience. Steve's speech. Go ahead, Joao. It's all yours.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I feel rejuvenated being here, not only by your presence and this very emotional meeting we're having here today and deep and connecting, but also by the topic of our speaker today, AI. AI, it's such a it's so exciting to be part of a revolution that's happening right now. It just goes to show that life never gets old. There's always something new happening. Life is always moving forward, and there's always something great and amazing happening. So I'm glad we're a part of this. We're living this. Of course, there will be positive and negative consequences because actually there's no bad and good. It's just technology. We human beings put the value in it and the principles and all. So, Steve, I love the topic. Very interesting. The idea here was to connect with the audience. Well, you're naturally connecting. You're a very connecting person naturally due to your charisma, your empathy. So I know it's very hard when you do it online like this on Zoom to know how connecting you are. But you did a good job just by your personality. Your personality is already something that everybody feels connected to. So, and you kept the audience interested because of the topic, because of your smiles and the way you express yourself always keeps us interested because we always feel that something good is about to come. It's always like very easy to listen to you. Very relatable. So these are some of the topics that I think you excelled at. Being charismatic, choosing an amazing topic. This topic is great. You can go to so many different places with this topic. You might want to work on, of course, rehearsing a little bit more It was very obvious that you were reading out from a piece of paper and that you were improvising. You did a great job. I don't know how you can remember that you have a speech only 2 days before and come up with a 7-minute talk like that. So that was an amazing job. But yes, with a little more rehearsal, that will become like very top notch. More variation also could help. A little bit more suspense, more silent moments. You talk a lot. I remember when you evaluate other people's speech, you like to talk about this exaggeration of movement. And yes, and I totally agree with you. I think that's great. You did very good on the charismatic and happy aspect of it, but maybe add a little bit more of suspense as well, like a little more silence and quiet moments. And and that's, I think it's just because there was no rehearsal. A more captivating conclusion would have been, like more impactful at the end. And you can challenge yourself to be more intentional and take your speech to the next level. And that's what I just heard. It's what you want to do. You said that on Table Topics. So, yes, I think the moment you become more intentional and to start working on your speech like you work on your, how do you call it? On your legal processes. Oh, I think they're going to go to a very professional level because I think you're 100% capable of becoming a professional speaker. So good you are at it. And that's it. Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. Where's our General Evaluator?
Oh, they're both gone.
I hope she's okay.
She was driving. I want my dog to be like your dog, Steve.
Thank you very much. Thank you for evaluating #1. We really appreciate that feedback for Steve for his speech. Thank you for noticing and observing, providing him really good feedback. You compared it to some of his previous speeches, and you also compared it to something he brought up during Table Topics, which was great. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm
More or
sorry, in two
less.
different
We
places.
don't hear
Hold
you
on,
as
listen.
well.
I was just walking.
We can hear you better now. You can hear
Hold
you
on.
better now.
Okay, good. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Pardon me. Switch. I'm going to be doing a conference. Hold on. And I'm in a conference center. There, is that better? Okay. I'm going to change from my my Notre Dame sweatshirt to a suit in about half an hour. Anyway, so my observations of the evaluator, I learned this from EP. We're supposed to evaluate the evaluator. And I didn't really take notes, but I was listening intently as I walked over to get some coffee. So I took you with me. What I noticed, Joao, you did a very, very thoughtful job of listening to Steve, pointing out that, in fact, he did do his project. He connected with the audience, which was exactly what he was supposed to do. And you told him that he is natural, which is true. He's a natural connector. And if he'd had a little more time to prepare, perhaps a rehearsal would have been more polished. But you pointed out some very helpful tips for him, which is good. Like our member Vinci always says, don't just give the sugar-coated comments, actually give some suggestions, because all of us want to improve. We want to rejuvenate. We want to replenish and improve ourselves. So you gave him really helpful tips. You weren't afraid to tell him where he could improve, what he could do better. And that was wonderful. Thank you for that great evaluation. And thank you, Steve, for the speech. It was excellent. It really reminded, Steve, your speech reminded me of that contest. When we were there, your wife was there. We were all there cheering for you. Biswaraj came. He had been your competitor. He lost the contest to you, but he came in a suit to cheer for you. That was such a great and it was the same topic. And you talked about being talked about you didn't call it AI back then. What was it, 3 years ago? I think it was called something about technology. But at the end, you said, "Oh, pardon me, my battery is running out," and you froze. And then you got a battery and put a new one in your ear, and you could. It was so good. Should have been first place, but you were the runner-up, and you still moved on to the next. It was good, so good. Anyway, thank you for that memory. It's kind of nice when somebody brings something back from before. I think if Nancy had been here or Eli or anybody else, they would have just loved it just as much. Anyway, and the meeting, we didn't start on time, but we started close enough to on time, considering we only have a few people, we only had one speech, we're still fine with our timing, so no problem there. And the meeting went smoothly, even though just a few of us, we did the 3 segments, everything ran smoothly. I would like to suggest, so that I take the suggestion of not just sugarcoating, in the future, it'd be nice if we reach out to members ahead of time to remind them. When I was VPE, I remember the only way I got a full board of 15 people or 12 people was by calling people, calling my fellow officers. And when I was president, I did the same thing, even though I wasn't VPE. Remind people, hey, we're having a meeting. You literally have to pick up the phone. It doesn't just work by itself. People don't sign up. You could say it all you want, Rachel, you know, when you were VPE, hey, everybody sign up. It doesn't happen. We're human beings. Steve forgot that he had signed up. He needed his VPE or his president or somebody, not the treasurer, somebody to say, hey, remember you got a speech coming up. What's the title? Let me know. I'll fill it in for you. If we would do that like we used to do back in the day, I think it would benefit our members. People aren't showing up. Our newest members aren't here today. It's unfortunate. And so it would be nice if we could just get a little reminders. And the WhatsApp is not the place because everybody's not on it and everybody doesn't check it. But just a text, a phone call, an email with a little attachment. And yeah, some of our board members aren't here either. But I think just a reminder, it would be nice. It would be a shame for the club to dwindle out, to go down to just we have 4 board members here and we have a past president, and that's great. But we're trying, it's nice to help others because most of us don't really need to learn how to speak. We're okay already. It's not, well, maybe Rachel. She just pointed at herself. Yeah, but the year that you're president is not the year that you work on your speeches. That's the year you work on your administrative skills and your leadership. So you don't have to feel, I would like to also thank you for pointing to yourself because it reminded me what you said when you had the red background and you were talking about that at the end of table topics. You don't have to feel pressured the year that you serve as the president of a club to do a whole bunch of speeches. You don't even have to do one. As a matter of fact, at the training, they often say, don't worry, this is not your year to worry about that. This is your year to help everybody else, to bring everyone else. And you have to plan, sorry to mention it, it's not so much for you, but for the VPE, but contests should be already planned. Sorry to say it, but every year, same old thing. The district contest is in May. The division contest is in April. So you back it up. That means the area contest is in March. That means our club contest should be in a couple of weeks in February, sometime in February. So just, that's a good thing to know. I haven't seen anything about it. It's hard because we all have our lives, our families, our work, everything else. But yeah, I would say I would remove that pressure from you of worrying about speeches this year. And July 1st, when you're no longer president, you could sign up for every speech, every other speech, you know, and then that would be your time. Yeah. Because otherwise, if we're worrying about speeches, we're not leading our members. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Really worried about speeches at all this year. I just know because of what I'm doing now that I need to practice. It is something that I need to do. I should have not taken leadership roles in the first 3 years, 4 years, because I definitely am somebody who needs to practice a repetitive and all these little words. I get stuck. I need to practice. So it's not about this year or that year. I'm just falling back and looking at my life. And in that from 2020, I started just taking everything on because I wanted to learn everything. So it was nothing to do with Toastmasters. I was just saying yes, yes, yes to everything. And I realized, as Joelle has realized, and now that I have a career with I have my insurance back, I need to learn how to speak properly. That would be my focus next year. But I wanted to,
but guess, you know what's so good about that? Since it's a general evaluation, how great that you recognize that. Because what if you didn't realize it and you just kept going? And you didn't say, I'm overwhelmed, I'm doing too much, I need to slow down, I need to rejuvenate. Or you kept speaking with your mistakes and it didn't say, let me work on this. That, how great, good for you. Round of applause. Good for you that you acknowledge it. You don't just say, hey, I'm fine, I could do this. It's
No,
good.
no,
I
that's
think
fine.
that's huge, right?
Yeah. Yeah, to admit it, yes, it's definitely huge. I knew about it a couple years ago, but I had to face it and admit it to myself. So,
What a great step to take for the new year. Good for you.
thank you.
And on that note, I would say I think the rest of our meeting was really good. And I noticed Rachel taking notes about the contest. It's not your burden. It is actually in the job description of the VPE. You did it when you were VP. I did it twice when I was VPE twice. So it's somebody who's not here.
Yeah, well,
But
I had a talk with Serena about it, and I just wrote the date.
Serena, not Serena. She's
No,
not in our club.
no, I was just speaking to Serena just about the overall life of Toastmaster and
Yeah, I know she called me too. The fact we
being
didn't have the meeting.
a president, being a part of leadership. That's all I meant. And it
Oh,
wasn't,
okay.
it's not Serena's job, it's Keisha's job. But yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean, it's not yours, but that's nice. As a president, you're very good to take that note to pass on to your officer. Very appropriate. Good job. Thank you, Rachel. Okay,
I'm
I'll turn
sorry.
this back to our
I have to
Toastmaster.
jump in because my student is downstairs. You know, it's evening here in Bulgaria, and I have more students to educate on vocal variety and singing. It was great to hear you all. I want to wrap up this meeting. We're not only five of us. We have a canine doggy. What is her name or his name? She was very attentive.
This is Percy.
Who?
This is our new dog. Well, when did we get him? We got him in February. February.
What's the
February.
name? Chrissy?
Percy.
Percy. Percy Jackson.
He's a rescue, and we fostered him, and then someone adopted him, and our son
That
was
was
very
so
upset
cute.
our son was very upset that he got adopted because he wanted him very bad. And then
Got
an
him.
older couple adopted him, and he said, "That's not a right dog for an older couple. He's very active." And they adopted him on Monday, and they brought him back to us Friday. It was 2 months later. And my son was so
Wow.
happy.
Your son's like a dog whisperer.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for showing him and making him part of our meeting. Thank you for everyone for this beautiful meeting. I know we're not as many as we could be. I personally reached out to Eileen and Tamara to make sure that they are here. Tamara is sending her best. She's intending to be more present in the upcoming meetings, and I'm sure that the rest of us have good reasons to not be present, but this is what I love about Valley Stars, that we learn, and now I have the phrase JOMO, the joy of missing out, the joy of continuing and collaborating and being at one with what is. And this is a great skill of agility, of perseverance, and adaptability. We are learning not only how to speak well, which is showing now in all of my areas of life. Everyone is like, "Wow, you speak so well. There's no but we're also building our faculties, our adaptability to be able to go with the flow no matter what. And I'm really, really, really grateful for this skill, Valley Stars. I look forward to the initiative on the speeches because I intend to apply again and hopefully be present for one of the.
Oh my God, yeah.
However, I am closing this meeting, giving it back to. I'm not closing. I'm giving back.
Adjourning.
Actually, the president.
I'm gonna adjourn
I'm
it.
giving back the lectern to Rachel, and I appreciate you all and love you and thank you for
I'm
starting
trying to get a
with me.
screenshot of this dog. Could somebody get it? This is
It's
just
so
look
cute.
at that talk about relationship and connection. Oh my gosh, look at her. Look at her. He's so playful.
I don't have, I'm not able to make a screenshot, but I will
trying.
I got a
post this
few. I
video
got a
as long
few.
as everyone is okay
I
with
think I
this.
got it.
I got a few too.
So I would like to take over very quickly and adjourn today's January 3rd, 2025. January 3rd, 2025. Valley Stars Toastmasters. God bless you all. I love you all.
Thank you.
Adjourned. It was a great.
Ciao.
I
Happy
have to
New Year,
go.
everybody.
Happy New
Happy New
Year.
Bye.
Year.
Happy New Year. Next
Bye.
time, just quick announcement. We're having also a board meeting after the regular meeting, correct? On the January
Correct.
17th.
January 17th.
January
I'll be there.
17th. I'll see you at my office. 2 weeks.
Yes, we'll see you at
Hopefully
the
See you
office.
there.
Bye.
Yes. Bye.